about to vent. I know we're talking about fantasy, but sometimes I have to vent. We had Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., Edwin Ingram, and Sterling Shepard on the same team, and we could not win more than 5 games. How?
Welcome back to another episode E on the mic. I'm your host E, aka Ethan. We are back on episode 2. We brought in a special guest today, all the way from Harlem, New York.
Yes, sir.
1 out of 2 with the Final Possession podcast.
Yes.
Tyrell, how you doing, Tyrell?
What's going on, E? How you doing? How you feeling?
Pretty good now. You know, it's a good day in Miami Vice type of feel. You know,
Miami Vice. I wish I was able to feel that weather with you. It's kind of cloudy up in here in New York, but you know,
hey, it's cloudy here too. Don't worry. It's been raining for the past few days, so it's been.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yesterday was horrible over here. I'll tell you that much.
Nah, yeah, it's definitely. I definitely need to take a trip down there. I love Miami on spring break. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we know about it. Spring break there.
Miami on spring break.
Hey, but this year it couldn't happen because of COVID.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I was actually in Cancun for this. It was like I was in Cancun. What was that? Like the week of March 13th, I want to say. That the week of March 13th. When I came back like the 18th. Everything was different.
Everything was like going shut down mode.
Everything was shut down mode. Like the first night I got into Cancun, not gonna lie, drunk as hell. The first night the NBA season got canceled. That's when the NBA season got canceled. And you know how when you I'm not sure if you're a drinker or not, but when I was going to sleep, I was still drunk, but like it didn't register in the nighttime. When I woke up the next morning,
that's when you
watch the highlights, I'm like, shit really got canceled.
Damn, you beat the NBA players to Cancun, man. On March.
Right.
You beat them too before they even.
I beat Paul George to Cancun.
Hey man, so we're gonna talk about your podcast, man. The Final Possession with you and Aaron, man. Tell me about the Final Possession. How that all started. I want to know about that one.
Yeah, so shout out Aaron, my co-host. The Final Possession basically started me and Aaron. When I tell you literally every single time something with sports happens, we're always FaceTiming each other, calling each other, describing like our picks on the game, what happened, why this happened. So we were just like, you know what? Why not just put this on the paper? Well, like, why not just put this out there? Why not let everybody hear what we're talking about? Because we always have to kind of group FaceTime another friend for them to understand, like ask who won the argument, who's right, and stuff like that. So we were just like, well, you know what? Let's just put this on the podcast. So every time we have an argument on the podcast, we could really determine, we could have people who's listening to the podcast see who's right. Because I always feel like I'm right in an argument. That's one thing.
I noticed that. I remember in an episode, you really made a statement about Steph Curry, and your co-host Aaron was like, I mean, he was lost for words. I was like, man, this man won the argument right here.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I'm gonna talk about something, I'm gonna come into it with hard facts. But now yeah, that's how the podcast actually honestly started. And then from there, like we've just been shooting a couple of episodes, but still fairly new on like the whole podcast and stuff like that. So we're still trying to figure out everything, and we're going on the fly. But honestly, it just came from FaceTiming each other and really just having arguments on FaceTime. I could really say that's how it started.
That's pretty impressive, especially with the Final Possession name. That this just reminds me, like, kind of like your Giants when the last possession against the Rams and they needed a touchdown. And the last possession.
Daniel Jones. Why? I can't call him Danny Dimes anymore. I can't do it because he's lost that name. I can't.
But is he Danny Eli?
Danny. No. Well, I won't let you disrespect Eli. I won't let you disrespect Eli. He's literally my favorite person in the world.
Got you 2 rings. I got you. You got you 2 rings.
Thank you. Nah, yeah, but yeah, the final possession. Yeah, the title. I can't even tell you how it came about. I like it. Like it just happened. And then the slogan, "What are you gonna do?" That obviously came from the final possession of. It's the final possession. What are you gonna do? It's a play on words of like, as the viewer, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna listen to us or are you not? Most people don't right now, but it's all good. We still getting started.
Oh yeah, we're always getting started. I know I'm just getting started with E on the mic too, episode 2.
Yes, sir.
You get
E on the
people,
mic,
you
episode
get
2.
some loyals. Trust me, you get loyal
For
people
sure.
there. You'll know when your loyal people is when they still listen to you no matter what. I'll tell you that much
Right.
on the podcast.
Exactly.
Like I
E on the
always have
mic. Thank you for having me though. I appreciate you.
for certain, man. Like when I saw you on Instagram, like it was like this dude funny. He's crazy in the podcast. I gotta get him on my podcast, man. I
For
know it's gonna
sure.
be a good one for certain. Giants 1-5 in that division, man. The NFC East Division has a total
It's the least.
18-1.
It's the least. It's the NFC least at this point. I can't explain how bad this division is. I'll start from the Washington football team. You know it's bad when a team in a division doesn't have a name. That's how bad it is.
And they're not gonna have it for next year either. They're not being able to make a name for next year either.
Like first of all, how hard? I mean, like I understand you like you have to go through licensing and make sure that you don't have, like you're not picking up a team name that someone else already has and stuff like that from other sports. Understandable. You have so much time to pick a name. People are getting paid millions of dollars on your advertisement side. How can't you have a name? And not only that, you're the capital of the United States. Your team plays in the capital of the United States. It's so much things that you could play off of words from that. You know what I mean? So I just don't get it. The Cowgirls, their defenses. This is a bad defense. The Giants, we can't score. We scored we scored like 30 points on them. We scored 30 points on a team, and we can't score for crap. I tell you this right now. We cannot score. Our offense sucks. Yeah. And we scored 30 points on
for the year.
Oh, man, Saquon. I miss him so much. The Eagles, I don't know what it is about the Eagles. Carson Wentz, I mean, it's really mostly injuries. So, like,
there's always a problem for the Eagles with injuries,
And then Carson Wentz is doing too much.
True.
And then, right. But yeah, the NFC least is just terrible. But I will say, this is the reason why I love the NFL. This is the reason why football is my favorite sport. I will say, no matter how bad we are, whether we're freaking 3-13 and the winner of the division is 3-13 or whatever it is, we still have a chance to be in first place tonight. We're 1-5 and we have a chance. I'll take it.
That's how you know the division's sad when the 1-5 team still has a chance to get a win against Philly.
I'll take it.
And that's a Thursday night football game, really. Which I noticed before I started to get you on here. I saw you predicted the Eagles winning over your Giants.
Yeah,
I don't 17 you predicted.
Yeah, so all right. One thing about me, I don't know about you. I'm very superstitious. I'm highly superstitious. So one thing in football, you never predict your team to win. So even if I did think that the Giants was going to win, I don't think they're going to win, by the way. But even if I did, I wouldn't say it because that's how they lose. You never bet on your team. That's not something you do. And when I watch the games, I pick one place in the room that I'm going to sit. I don't move. I only move once at halftime. I'll move, and I don't check my phone while the game is going on. So it's really a system thing for me. I feel like if I move from where I'm at, I'm just gonna mess up the whole thing. So I'm really superstitious. That's the reason why I picked the Eagles to win. So you'll never see me pick the Giants to win. But I honestly do think the Eagles are going to win this game.
Yeah, especially when I know the Giants got their first dub last week against the Washington football team, which they decided to try to go for 2, thinking they would be confident, trying to ruin Giants days right there. Ron Rivera.
Riverboat Ron, yo, when I tell you, I'm 24 years old. I probably lost about 5 or 6 years of my life from that game.
I still can't believe they tried to go for 2 though.
Daniel Jones. I don't care what you have to do. I cannot take another drive. We had a 19-play drive against the Steelers Monday Night Football, and you throw an interception. 14-play drive at the goal line, and you throw inside the 10-yard line, and you throw an interception. That can't happen no more, Daniel Jones. It can't. I can't take it anymore. These turnovers.
Especially
I promise you.
Especially with any teams in New York right now, it's just miserable if you think about it. You got the 1-5 Giants, and then you got the 0-6 Jets with the guy that has wide ass eyes. Like, oh my god, like that, like what the hell? That's all you have in New York for football teams to cheer for.
Yeah. The Dolphins gave him to the Jets. Y'all the one that.
Yeah, we gave him away. We just gave that man away. Thank God. We love Flores. No worries. We love Flores more than Gase.
Nah, yeah, Brian Flores. Y'all definitely have a coach on your hands for sure.
Finally, man. You don't have no idea how long we've been waiting for.
Who was y'all? Who do you not? I mean, but Adam Gase wasn't terrible in Miami though.
First year, I would say he did all right, but after that, it started going downhill. Once Sanders got hurt, he brought in Jay Cutler.
I thought Jay Cutler was going to be good, honestly.
I was optimistic about Jay Cutler because I don't know what I'm going to see. Am I going to see Jay Cutler was good with Chicago that one year he almost went to the Super Bowl, or am I going to see him struggling, which you saw the struggling part of it,
right? But
it was horrendous, and then he was losing the locker room. He traded Jarvis away and Ajayi, so it wasn't a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, like as a fan, it's kind of difficult sometimes when you get in football specifically when you get rid of skilled players, especially like receivers and running backs and stuff like that. But after you realize like you kind of don't like wide receivers, you kind of don't need a superstar wide receiver. You more need serviceable wide receivers at this point. And you need a really good defense with a really good offensive line and a young quarterback with really good rotation of running backs. I think right there, that's the formula to winning in the NFL consistently. I think, right. Yeah, I think wide receivers are kind of like big men in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like
the big money, like Antonio Brown in the news with Seattle.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like you think you need them because of what they could do in specific plays and stuff like that. And they'll sometimes win you games. But like when you actually think about how the game was actually played and things like that, it's just you realize there's so much other things that's more important than a receiver position. The receivers are more of like icing on the cake. You know what I mean? The linemen and the defense is like is the actual cake. If you could throw the receiver, I won't even see the icing. I think the running back is the icing. The receivers is the sprinkles. The receivers is the sprinkles or the cherry on top of your sundae.
No, true. That's true right there. But just overall, that game for the Giants and Eagles game is going to come down to who's going to have it, which is going to be Carson Wentz. As much as you want to see Danny Dimes all of a sudden does good, but I just say Carson Wentz is going to destroy the Giants.
I think. Well, one thing I will say though, at this point I can't say much things good about the Giants, but honestly, our defense, I would say this: our defense, we're not good on. Yeah, huh? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He's been getting some points. Not to cut you off there, but he's been getting some points for interceptions to the house.
Right, exactly. And Blake Martinez, the linebacker from Green Bay, came over in free agency. he's a tackling machine. He's just one of those players where he's not super fast, he's not super strong or anything like that. But his football IQ, he always knows where to be. It kind of reminds me of a Sean Lee from Dallas when in his prime when he's on the field. He's gonna always make the right tackle. He's gonna always be where he's supposed to be. His pass coverage is shaky sometimes, but like as a run stopper, and his football IQ, I love Blake Martinez. Logan Ryan, really good player. James Bradbury, I think he's tied for the first in the league for most passes defended with 10. James Bradbury is. So I think the defense is solid. The Eagles are getting Deshaun Jackson back today, and he's a Giants killer. He's a Giants killer. I hate Deshaun Jackson.
we don't talk about Christmas time around there.
Okay,
don't you love seeing that video?
I can't watch I can't watch it to this day. I can't watch it. It's just not something I can watch. It's something that it's like watching my dog die or something like that. I can't watch it.
Yeah, no, I feel you there. Like there's some plays in the Dolphins screw up. I just don't even watch. I just like, yeah, next. I don't want to.
I think y'all had the most exciting play of all of last season though, with Kenyon. Wait, what was that last season? Yeah, that was last season with Kenyon Drake, right?
It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago when Gage was still head coach.
When Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake took it to all the way to Miami Miracle.
Took it to the house, yeah.
What's crazy about that one? I almost was about to work out. I was like, okay, let me see what he's gonna do. And he actually made a score. I was like, yes, thank God we still can't put. And then we lose the next 3 games after that. Okay. That's to finish the season like that.
Not yet. So not yet. That right there, not yet. That was an exciting play. I don't think, the Giants like that. I'm trying to think of a. Nah, yeah, we don't have one of those plays in our recent history.
It's been a while, I'll tell you that much.
It's been a while. It's all right though.
Like Barkley is the only person that really shines on the Giants as of right now. About the sports video games now with Madden 21 and 2K. Since I know you talked about this one, your latest episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about some of that real quick. So, which game do you like more, Madden or you like 2K? Okay,
so Madden. I like Madden more. One, specifically because it's football season. So, like, when it's football season, you kind of will want to play the video game that the season is currently in. Madden they have some new features to the game that I really love. One, they got the NFL Streets. So
really?
You can play in the streets. Yeah, it's like a 7-on-7 thing. It's like a 7-on-7 thing, which is super dope. I love that. And unlike previous Maddens, you can quarterback slide. So now Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, guys like that who can scramble, cheat codes. You can't beat them because you could just you could just slide. Before and previous Maddens, it was I don't know if you could slide or what, but when no one knew how to do it, so you used to always fumble. They made the quarterback fumble so easy.
I know that struggle because when I used to play Madden with the old Madden stuff, I was like, why can't I slide? And then you get and fumbles, and then you lose the game right there. I'm like,
right, exactly. And there's you have to bank on trying to get out of bounds. You know what I mean? So
that's a good feature for Madden right there.
For Madden, for 2K, it's literally the same as 2K20, but I will give them this. 2K, they said that they're building the game from the ground up for the next generation of consoles. Really different game than what we're seeing on the current generation of games.
Especially since PS5 is going to come out soon.
Yeah, PS5. Well, PS5 and Xbox, they're both coming out fairly soon. I think Xbox. I think they're it's coming out in November in a couple of weeks. I think November 11th.
Yeah, that's a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see the exact release date. Yeah, November 10th. So
you're almost there.
Exciting. it's exciting. It's exciting. I got a couple weeks.
Yeah, and just to put it in perspective, I love both games, like Madden and 2K, especially since I grew up more as a football and basketball guy when I played in high school and in the early days. But if I had to choose, I would choose Madden. I really like Madden more. It's more exciting to me than I play 2K, although I suck at both at times. Like, but I'm not a great player, but I love Madden more. It's very exciting. This is like more competitive to me.
Right.
But I always like talking about Madden and 2K since it grew in my life, really.
Right. Exactly.
But back to the question, because I know you before we started recording is you want to know if I wanted to choose either Xbox or PS5. Let's put
Xbox or PS5. Yeah. Which one you on?
I say more Xbox, more since I had really more experience and I really enjoy Xbox. That really grew up with me. I didn't really get the PS4 hype. I knew more about the Xbox. The PS4 looked more confusing than Xbox. I'm like, yeah, I get Xbox.
It is way more confusing. PS4 is like an Android and a freaking and a Xbox like an iPhone. Super simple.
Yeah, it's like an iPhone Samsung comparisons. Like the Xbox, the iPhone, the PS4 is the Android.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's I mean, you know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. Like if I like, so here's how my gaming history went. First, everybody had PlayStation, just the first PlayStation. And then I had PS2. Then I had GameCube. And then I had Xbox. No, I'm lying. I had GameCube and PS2 at the same time. And then I got the Xbox 360. Once I had the Xbox 360, I've been Xbox for the rest of my life. Xbox 360. The only thing bad about that, those 3 Rings of Death. I'm not sure if you remember that. You know when they used to get the 3 Rings of Death? It came from like if you played it too much, I guess. I don't know what exactly it came from, but I think my conspiracy, if you played it too much,
it starts overheating.
It started overheating, and then we try to turn it on, it gives you 3 rings. Once the 3 rings is there, it's over. You got to buy a new Xbox. And at the time, you like 11, 13, 14 years old, you can't buy another Xbox. So you have to really count on your parents like, yo, please give me another Xbox. What am I going to do this weekend?
I don't know. Read a book. Go outside.
Okay.
Let's say something like that. Let's say something like that. Like,
reading a book.
I don't know what to tell you.
The lies, but I would have never read a book. I promise you.
They would have told me that. They're like, go outside, do something. I don't know. Read a book since you don't like reading books. Yeah. They'll tell me that.
God.
Like that.
For sure.
But that pretty much to summarize that, Xbox over PS4.
Xbox for sure. Bet we got a lot in common.
Fantasy starters.
Oh, here we go. This is woo!
Fantasy starters. I know you've been waiting for this since we started this episode, so we can dive into it. So we're gonna start off with quarterbacks. I got 2 players right here that I'm gonna mention that you got must start really. Justin Herbert versus the Jaguars. Now Herbert has been very impressive. Trust me, for the past few games, 4 touchdowns against the Saints, and then going off against Tampa.
Okay,
he's been showing good right now for Offensive Rookie of the Year so far.
Mm-hmm. So now you go ahead.
But Herbert against the Jaguars, especially the Jaguars, struggle on defense. That's good fantasy points right there for Herbert right there. If you think about
Justin Herbert. Okay, I mean, I'm always unless quarterback specifically, I'm always so hesitant to take rookie quarterbacks. It's just something that I don't do in fantasy.
True.
But he looks good. I will say that.
He's been upgrade. He's been getting better and better since that Chiefs game. He's been getting better and better, and especially has a favorable matchup. That will be pretty solid, Now, I know. When I said in my last podcast, I said you should start Matthew Stafford, and he got 1 touchdown. But you should believe me on this. They're playing against the Falcons. I understand the Falcons did beat the Vikings last week. However, Matthew Stafford can get you some points right there, especially as long as Swift does not hog all the touchdowns from him.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift. Now, I love DeAndre Swift. Just a quick touch up on him. I love DeAndre Swift. He lost him the game against the Bears. He had a touchdown in his hands, and he dropped.
Oh my gosh, I was like, why did you drop that?
yeah, no, that was bad. That was bad. But Matthews, listen, if your quarterback is playing against the Falcons, start him. Simple. if they're playing against the Falcons, start them. Even if the Falcons win 40-35, we don't care about the results of the score. We just want to make sure it's a high scoring game. And playing against the Falcons, it will be.
100%.
So I like Matthew Stafford for sure. I like Matthew Stafford.
Actually, since we want to switch to running backs real quick.
Okay.
Last week, very impressive after 3 weeks of being in the shadows, really. Finally getting 2 touchdowns, having a nice game, 54-yarder against the Jaguars, if you think about it. Because although Swift has given you like ups and downs at times, but Swift, again, another favorable matchup
touches
with the Falcons.
Right. He gets touches. Right.
And then another player, Ronald Jones. Now, I know I talk about Ronald Jones. I know I bashed him last week and say, he ain't going to do that much against the Packers. I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong.
He's a hard runner. He's a hard runner,
especially with that Tampa Bay offense. So I would start him up against the Raiders, if you really think
Raiders
about it.
for sure. And Leonard Fournette, he's consistently on that injury
IR list.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's. I don't know if he's still on there, but Ronald Jones, even if Leonard Fournette comes back, Ronald Jones still going to get the majority.
Yeah, he's going to be the leading back. Fournette's been really disappointing for fantasy because I know I did mention him like some time ago that you should start him, but nah, I've gotten away. I've gotten away. I will stay away from Fournette if you haven't really stayed away from him at all by now.
Right.
I'm going to go to wide receivers. So this is almost getting Halloween. So we'll go with Scary Terry McLaurin, Washington versus.
Scary Terry's a sleeper. He's a sleeper.
He's very a sleeper. Trust me. Like Washington I know he has Allen at QB, Kyle Allen, but McLaurin can get you some points, and especially Dallas. Dallas has always struggled, especially with your Giants. If you know it's your Giants game, Evan Ingram all of a sudden getting touchdowns.
Right, exactly. So yeah, he definitely Dallas. Again, if you're facing Dallas, if you're facing Atlanta, start them. I don't care who it is, start them. Or the Jets. But the only thing with the Jets, though, here's what I say with the Jets: they have Greg Williams as their DC. So he installs some kind of pride. Just giving him like 30 points a game. That's the pride they give him.
Like, what pride? Like, I know he gave like 24 points on Miami. Like, oh, look, see, we didn't get 30 points. You didn't give 30 points.
We didn't give 30.
That don't mean anything, though.
Now, you're definitely, if you have Scary Terry, he's an NFC rival foe. He's an NFC foe, I mean. But if you got Terry, definitely start him versus Dallas. Listen, the Eagles and the Giants play each other, and Washington and Dallas play each other. We're going to cannibalize each other this week. That's what's going to happen. And somehow, some way, a losing team is going to be on top of the NFC East.
You imagine the Giants. That'll be the most hilarious thing for the NFC East.
I'm gonna call you. I'm not gonna say anything yet.
Don't jinx it now. Don't jinx it now. Hey, but another wide receiver that everyone's kind of like doubting right now, OBJ, Odell Beckham. I know people are doubting him because he's been very inconsistent, but remember how he started getting productive was against the Bengals. If you remember against the Bengals, he was very productive that Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
So I will trust him this week with Odell right there. I know he's been inconsistent. I know last games he played a hard Steelers team, got you 2 points at least, but I would trust him against the Bengals. So that's like a favorable matchup for OBJ to just sprout again. So everyone's like confident with OBJ once again.
The thing about OBJ that's really scaring me, I'm going to read off a few series of numbers. 3 receptions, 4 receptions, 4 receptions, 5 receptions, 5 receptions, and 2 receptions. That scares me because even in the big games that he's had, it's like big plays. You know what I mean? Like it's not a consistent dose of 10 yards here, 12 yards here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's big plays. So Odell, the name, yes, and I know it's bye week. So if you have Odell, for sure, I will agree with you to start him. But if you have other serviceable receivers, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just
saying for
me.
this game. At this game,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least I would
At
trust
least,
him.
right. I got you.
You never know. All Giants. I know all Giants fans missed him when he got traded or he got let go. I think he got traded. I'm pretty sure to the Browns.
He got traded. I was actually on my way. This was 2019 spring break. I was on my way to Miami. My flight was taking off. I was leaving out of LaGuardia. I want to say, what time was my flight? I think like 7 p.m. it was taking off. My friend, my co-host Aaron, he sent me the screenshot when it was taking off. You know how you still have service for a little while before you take off? I got the freaking screenshot sent to me, and I was flying Delta, and they had TVs on it. I was watching NFL Network because I didn't believe it. I was watching NFL Network. It was true. Odell Beckham Jr. was traded to the Cleveland Browns. Still hurts my soul. Most exciting. He's one of the most. I'm sorry. I'm about to vent. I know we're talking about fantasy, but sometimes I have to vent. We had Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Ingram, and Sterling Shepard on the same team, and we could not win more than 5 games. How?
That's just like mind blowing to me.
Just go on to the next, please. Go on to your flex.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Titans just before we go to the flex.
Titans, I'm sorry.
Titans, Hunter Henry now. Hunter Henry with the Chargers, he's been very impressive with your fantasy points, getting like an average of 10 points, at least a game. That's pretty impressive for a tight end. If you have him, start him. He's going to play against the Jaguars, so
yes,
that'll be a good one. And Hawkinson. Hawkinson versus the Falcons, especially. He did get touchdowns last week. I would expect the same thing again this week against the Falcons. So
it's a common theme. Atlanta Falcons, start them. Start them.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna go to flex. Here's a surprising one that people will probably be surprised about. T. Higgins. I actually like T. Higgins in this matchup against the Cleveland Browns. Higgins been very impressive. He's pretty much Joe Burrow's number one guy early. It's not AJ Green anymore. It's gonna be Higgins. So
there's similar wide receivers, very tall, good hands. Not the fastest guy, but they're tall and they can get up there.
Yeah, I just really like Higgins' matchup. I know he didn't do productive last time they played against Cleveland, but I think he's gonna be productive this game for certain.
Now, yeah, his last 3 games, last 4 games, he's give you double digit fantasy points. So he had 40 yards, 77 yards, 62, and last week was his coming out party with 125 reception yards. So
yeah, and then a sleeper that I have for flex actually McKissick. Now I understand he is playing against the Cowboys and he hasn't done as much productive, but I think McKissick is gonna be kind of like how he did with Freeman against the Giants, where he's gonna be very productive. He'll get you fantasy points for certain for like 15 points or so, but that's pretty good for fantasy, really. If you don't have anybody, if one of your players is on bye and McKissick's still around, I'll get McKissick if you really think about it.
Now, yeah, I like that. He was definitely he was fairly productive last week against New York. And again, the key is bye weeks. So bye weeks, even if it's 8 or 9, 10 points, those points are key when these bye weeks start to come up.
They're very crucial, I'll tell you that much. Defense real quick. So defense, I got Chiefs defense against the Broncos. And I got, surprisingly, the Chargers defense against the Jags. Now, for the Chargers, let me explain this one. The Chiefs is explanatory, and the Broncos, Drew Lock will give you like through 2 picks against the Pats, so expect that. But the Chargers, I want to explain this more because I understand that it's not Chargers offense, it's the Chargers defense. That's really the main problem with injuries too at the same time. But this game against Minshew, I don't think Minshew has been very productive at all. The Jaguars since that first game, that surprising game that he beat the Colts.
Right.
So I know Chargers defense scares a lot of people because you might get negative points, but I think the Chargers defense can turn it around this week. So and be
Yeah,
very
yeah,
productive.
right. Sometimes it's not about how good the defense actually is. It's about the opponent that they're going up against and their opponent not being able to score points or the opponent not being a threat. So I'll take your word on that.
Kicker. Now, this guy I already mentioned last week, Young-Ho Koo. Young-Ho Koo did very productive last week. I'll tell you that much.
Yes.
I said it on my last episode. Koo was gonna do good in that game, and he showed off good. So Koo, once again, he's gonna do it again against the Lions this week.
I got you. I like that one.
Floridian Picks. So to explain Floridian Picks to Tyrell is I got two matchups. We're about to talk about it, see who wins there, and let's get on with it. So here we go. The first one, I'm gonna start with the Titans and Steelers, the 1:00 game on Sunday. Both of them are undefeated. The Titans coming off an impressive win over the Texans, although the Texans could have just made an 8-point game before the regulation, but they tried to be greedy. And
Romeo Cornell, what are you doing?
And then the Titans did win with the King Henry. While the Steelers, impressive blowout against the Browns, just blew the Browns out of the water. Baker Mayfield wasn't looking the same after that. But it's going to be an exciting game, Titans and Steelers. So I'm going to let Tyrell go first with this one. What do you think on this game?
Titans and Steelers. This is King Henry versus Minka Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna go 24-21 Steelers.
Really no.
24-21 Steelers. I think Ben Roethlisberger, I think his experience wins this game. I think it's a close. I don't think again 24-21. I don't think it's a blowout at all. I think Clayton Claypool gonna have a big game against that Titans secondary.
I actually disagree with you. I actually go with the upset here, the Titans. Actually, I've been really impressed. I've been really impressed with the Titans. I know they play against teams that are 1-5. You can say all that, but Buffalo though was a 4-0 team before, and with that Derrick Henry stiff arms, his Josh Norman's career really right there.
Seems like he does it every game.
Every game he doesn't do the great defensive backs. I swear,
right?
Earl Thomas, Josh Norman, just to mention names like that. But I just think Derrick Henry is going to run over the Steelers right here. It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be high scoring. I think I'm going to say 31-28. It's going to be a really impressive game. It's going to be a shootout. That would be a great shootout.
I'm not mad at that pick. I'm definitely not mad at that pick. It's the next one.
And then the last one I got right here. Bucs versus Raiders. So let's talk about both these two teams here. The Bucs are coming off from a huge win against Aaron Rodgers. 38-10. Who would have thought that Rodgers was going to throw 2 picks? Although he did a Hippogary celebration, which was not even a touchdown. So Aaron Jones gets that touchdown. It was 10-0 before, and then the Bucs had all the way through 38-10.
Since that pick six, he's only thrown 3 pick sixes in his career, and that was the third one. That's ridiculous.
That's just crazy right there.
That's crazy.
The pick six though was lights out for them, really. 38-10, and the Raiders are just coming off of a bye, but they did beat the Chiefs impressively in the fashion. So with these two teams right here, who do I got here? I actually got the Bucs winning this. Tom Brady is gonna show up today versus the Raiders. I think it's gonna be a 10 or 14 point game. I really think so.
So can you tell me the score?
No, I'm about to tell you the score. I'm about to tell you the score right now. It's gonna be, I'm gonna say 28-17. 28-17.
28-17.
Not to disrespect the Raiders, but with Joe Moore releases, I know Joe Moore always watches this show, but I just think the Bucs is too much for the Raiders, especially with the Bucs defense.
I think Gruden playing against his former team in the Tampa Bay, against Tampa Bay, I think he's gonna have his team fired up. I think Tampa Bay's defense, they are kind of leaky at times, and they do give up big plays at certain points. But I think those linebackers from Tampa Bay and safety Antoine Winfield Jr., those guys, they're not coming to play two-hand touch. They're coming to tackle you and tackle you hard with bad intentions. So I definitely think It's gonna be another physical game. You're gonna get a lot of Josh Jacobs. You're gonna get a lot of Josh Jacobs. Yeah. I got Oakland 23-17.
23-17. You got Las Vegas.
Not Oakland, Las Vegas. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Las Vegas. Like, it's not Oakland anymore.
I got Las Vegas 23-17.
Okay, I see you there. So
and I got Josh Jacobs 2 touchdowns.
All right. I see you there.
I got Josh Jacobs 2 touchdowns.
Man, but I really appreciate you coming on my show, E on the mic, man. I really appreciate your show as well. I hope you do the greatest on your show. I think it's gonna go somewhere with that. The final possession.
I appreciate you. This is the first time I'm ever appearing on somebody's show, so you will forever be embedded in me. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. Not playing. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on the show. I look forward for you coming on the final possession, and we can keep this relationship going. But we can't end this episode without you predicting the Giants. Can I get a prediction out of you? Can I get a New Yorker prediction?
Yeah, I got a prediction for you. I got the Eagles winning it. I got the Eagles. I'm sorry. Like, it's just a sorry division. I'm sorry. Like, as much as the division is right now, I still like the Eagles this game. 30-17, as I mentioned earlier. I don't see the Giants coming off with this win here as much as, but they may surprise me. Who knows? I may get a call from you. Who knows?
I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm not going to say anything yet. I appreciate you, though. Everyone, you guys can follow me at The Final Possession on Instagram or my personal Instagram as well, at Ty, that's TY_de Blasio, like the mayor of New York City. That's Ty_de Blasio, and at The Final Possession. Thank you, E, again. Good luck on the podcast. You're doing an amazing job. Episode number 2. I'm happy to be a part of history.
For certain, man. Now, thank you guys for listening to E on the Mic, episode 2. Until next time, have a good day and always stay true to yourself. See you then, guys.